So here I am, blank wall, because, new surface every day, trying to change it up. Fun stuff. Morning sunlight coming through. The sun is going to make an appearance today. It's going to be a little bit like Bono showing up. People are going to be like, is that the sun? I don't know. He looks taller. No, I heard he was taller than that. No, wow, is he losing his hair? Although if the sun starts losing his hair, we're having problems, people. So, anyway, rocking the headband because I'm partying like I'm a Gene Simmons. Simile just went downhill. It's gone. The last thing you heard me say was Gene Simmons and a headband. So I don't have a whole lot more. I know I'm touching my face a lot, but I'm home. So if there's a contaminant somewhere in the house, it's everywhere right now. But in any case, we have gotten to the place now culturally where I have seen the fighting start now, and it's okay. I mean, I'm not like, oh my gosh, everything's over because there's fighting. It's not like that. But you can tell that we have moved into the next phase of what our reality is, because it's not just that we have the virus, which may or may not be like resolving in New York City. I mean, I saw reports yesterday that it was actually coming down, so that's good. Stock market started coming up, which is good. No idea what reality is. I saw a story today from a person who's part of our fitness group who is just desperate because her parents are both on respirators, and she herself is a nurse, and her mom called her up just absolutely struggling to breathe. And she couldn't get any of the nurses on deck, and so this lady who was on shift called this other hospital trying to get a hold of medical staff. Took her 20 minutes to get someone into her mom's room to take care of her. So I mean, in the macro, it looks like everything's starting to get resolved, but on the individual level, this is still some pretty hard stuff, man. I wrote a piece on my blog recently about how I am just absolutely aghast at how people can't manage to stop being so selfish about, well, I just feel like going out. I think that article got shared more than anything else I've ever written, which made me a little sad because I've written happier things, because it did not have a happy ending. It ended with emotion. And that was the point of getting that written, was I just, feeling stuff. And I felt it was important to get some of those feeling stuff out there, because I feel that right now there are people who are treating this with so much disregard that it's actually beginning to come across to other people as disrespect, including to my family to a certain extent. Now, my family is a little different. Like, if schools go back into session for our school district, my kids won't be going back, because the oncologist said that even when the pandemic level goes down, the danger is still there, and the danger to my little dude is real right now. So, I mean, the reality is different for us. And so we have to deal with reality being different. But I have seen in the process of people sharing those things that it has brought up some extreme emotions in people. It's not just that people have reacted at a 10 on either support or condemnation for the things that I had to say. And I mean, when you put your words out there, they will be judged based off of how people feel about them and how people think about them. And sometimes people even bring both their thoughts and their feelings to an assessment, which is good, but not common. And that's fine. I had to learn, after writing pieces that are opinionated onto the blog, that I couldn't go defend my words wherever they went. I just needed to go let them be someplace and let people work with them. I think that's how this works. I hope that's how this works, because that's what I did this time. I didn't go get into any of the fights, but dude, some people just got lit up, because either people are just so angry about people not listening to advice that they have blown up, or people who are so angry about feeling controlled that they have similarly blown up. And I mean, I've seen posts about, hey, what about the people who like have to go do something for their mental health? And it's like, yeah, dude, if you're in the process of losing grip with reality and you need to go get something from a supplier so that you can process better, that's good. Go do that. It should be a conversation later, though, about if your mental health requires ice cream, you need counseling because you're going to eat yourself to death. If your mental health requires whiskey, you need counseling because you're going to drink yourself to death. If your mental health requires wandering around the aisles of Walmart wondering if you really need that candle, you need help because you're going to spend yourself into the poorhouse. And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I get it. Take care of yourself. Don't go off the deep end just trying to be brave here. But be honest with yourself too. Be honest with, hey, and this is me in that boat too, man. I mean, like I haven't been buying 2 boxes of cereal at Costco during every Costco trip because my kids suddenly love oatmeal squares a lot more. Okay, stress eating is my thing. When I'm not processing things correctly, I mulch my way through a couple of bags of cereal. So, in any case, we're all doing this thing together here, and we need to take care of ourselves, but we also need to plan for the future, for better future care. And I feel like that part of the conversation is being lost. It's important that when you feel a certain way about a thing, that you need to be able to back up the way that you feel eventually with some solid reasoning. Now, I'm not saying that emotions don't have validity without logic, but what I'm saying is logic is a good check for if that is the actual end state of that emotion. In other words, if you're angry about something and you're angry, you might need to check yourself because you might actually be sad about something and it's just gone into anger because anger is proactive and sadness is not. But I mean, what I'm saying is that you need to submit your emotions to logic. So that if you're feeling about something a certain way, you need to be able to express why. Partially because if someone is questioning the validity of your emotions, you need to say, no, I feel this way because X, Y, and Z. So you can help to generate empathy between the two of you. Another reason why you want to be able to explain your feelings is so you can process. Because if it's a negative emotion, especially, if you're not processing that negative emotion, it doesn't just stay inert inside. It festers. It's like a wound that just keeps getting worse and worse. I find that Peter has probably one of the best explanations for this. I mean, it extends into this. His discussion about giving a logical answer about an emotional moment starts with a person's experience of the gospel, and we're here in 1 Peter chapter 3. I'm going to start reading at verse 14. But even if you should suffer for righteousness' sake, you will be blessed. Have no fear of them, nor be troubled, but in your hearts honor Christ the Lord as holy, always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is in you. Yet do it with gentleness and respect. So that's verses 14 and 15. And that's important. And of course, the original context is important here because Peter is talking about people who have found hope in the darkness in the gospel of Jesus Christ. They have found hope in the fact that Jesus came and died, and now they don't have to live in darkness anymore. They can live in the light. They can live the life that he created them to be, which is unique. Sometimes a struggle, oftentimes a struggle, but it is the adventure that we craved to live with other people, with the vocations he's created us. All these things. He's created us to do things more than just breathe, even though breathing is a doggone miracle. But when he says, be prepared to give an explanation for the hope that is in you. He says, you have this emotion that's there, and this emotion comes out of you like, woo-hoo-hoo. It's something that the guy who wrote Most for His Highest, I still have Quentin's copy of it in my, Quentin Cook, I still got your copy of it in my library here, man. Ozzy Chambers. Oswald Chambers wrote this thing. He talked about the surf riders in Hawaii. And he talked, because, they weren't called surfers back then, back in them ye olden days. They were called surf riders, which makes sense because the surf and they ride it. So, bingo, bango, bongo. And so the surf riders would see a wave that would crush a normal human being. And they look at it good. Dude, that'd be sick. We ride that. Yes. And he observed the same thing about people who have hope, is they look at troubled times and they're not crushed by them, and they even have moments in time where they're like, watch this. And guys, I have to tell you, we have had moments like that doing like this online church thing. There's a meme that exploded yesterday. I don't know why it took 3 weeks, but it's like, and just like that, my pastor was a televangelist. But there's moments when we said, can we do this? I think we can. And we take a look at it and we're like, whoa, dude, we can do this. And all of a sudden we can HD record our church service and broadcast it to people who are stuck at home. Some of them for years. We can record it onto DVDs. It's amazing. We set ourselves another challenge this week. We'll see how that one works out, but I'm pretty sure it does. And so it's one of those things where we have hope, and we even have a little bit of adventure in the adversity, and it's amazing. But you have that emotion, and someone comes up and says, what is wrong with you? And you have to be able to take this and put it into this, okay? Because you can't just it's like this totally amazing, it's just, yeah, They're like, cool. I wish I could do that. But it's one of those things where you have to be able to give an answer. And when the translation I use says defense, but generally the word is answer. Give an answer if someone asks you why you have hope. That extends to any hope that you have. And this is a challenge for people who believe in Jesus, people who don't believe in Jesus, is you need to be able to explain your hope. Because if you think it is that valuable a commodity, you need to be willing to share it. You need to be willing to say, hey, here's my hope, try it out. 30-day trial, money back. I don't know if there's any money back guarantee on hope, but never tried to give mine back anyway. But if you have a way that you feel about the current pandemic, you need to be able to explain logically, carefully, and without offense how you feel about it, why you feel that way, what your reasoning is behind that. You need to be able to say, logically, this is where I come at this from. And that's why I have constantly said, I don't know what's going on because I don't understand the science of it enough. I mean, we understand more and more every day, but there's lots of limiting factors to understanding what's going on. But there's things we do understand, and we can explain the way that we approach those things. And it's funny, you can't have unique facts, but you can have unique reaction to the facts. And that's the way it works. And so you need to explain the way that you react uniquely. But that last part is key. Do it with gentleness and respect. And this part is a challenge I put out there specifically to people who are believers. If you can't talk about this whole thing without disrespecting someone, keep your mouth shut. Get off social media. Because the world is watching the way that we are reacting to this right now. And the world is looking with brand new eyes for how do I hope right now. And if you believe that your hope is the ultimate hope, if you believe that your hope is the only hope, if you believe it is exclusive to every other hope that is out there, but you can't stop from reacting hot to somebody publicly and everything, just stop. Because it is not making people believe that you have hope. It's making people believe that you have desperation that has turned into anger and disrespect. On the other side of that, if you have the ability to calm the storms that are brewing between people, jump in there and do it with respect, with hope, with gentleness, because that is what our world is missing more than anything else right now. In the halls of our government, the halls of our celebrities, our culture, there's so much lack of respect right now when we don't agree on something, that if someone can just come out there and respect people and disagree with them, it changes the entire world. If you have hope, just a minute, examine it. Because looking at hope is not like looking at a cloud up close. Okay, it doesn't disappear when you get really close to your hope. It actually magnifies. If you have hope, that is real hope. Now, like fake hope, yes, it like you get close to a cloud and like, where'd the fluffy cloud go? And I'm cold. But real hope doesn't disappear when you get close to it and examine it, and it helps you share it, which is shared hope is also in short supply right now throughout the world. So I'll get out your business. I'll get out your browser. Praying for you. I hope today is a great day. Love you guys. Out.